Yo, what is up guys, your boy Frio here. Welcome to another video on the channel here guys, and today as you guys can see we are joining the bandwagon today doing a tier maker video. If you guys are familiar with the tier maker website, you can literally do whatever you want on this website whatsoever. You can rank anything, anyone, any subject you have, from sports to YouTubers to cooking to food to video games. Honestly, anything. And I'm thinking about doing a series just doing all the stuff about Madden and the NFL and doing tier list makers for them. So as you guys know, other YouTubers have done quarterbacks, halfbacks, wide receivers, even done like the 99 overall cards in Madden 19. I think I'm going to be doing the same type of videos. I'm just going to try and keep them going. I kind of want to do as many as possible because I feel like these would be fun. You guys get to like see my take on the NFL, see my take on Madden, and like how I rank some of these guys in the NFL or even Madden overall. But today we're going to start off with the first QB, which is Alex Smith, and work all the way down to Daniel Jones. There are about 38 quarterbacks, I think, on this tier maker list. The link will be down in the description if you guys want to do it yourself. Tweet at me your own tier list makers. You guys disagree. Comment down below if you disagree. Comment down below if you agree, like the video, subscribe, and let's get right into this tier maker. Now guys, I'm going to try and place all these QBs as accurately as possible. We got 38 QBs, couple of backups, but all of these guys are definite starters or can be starters in the NFL. So we're going to try and accurately place them as much as possible. We're just going to place them of how I'm going to think they're going to do next season, and we're going to also base it on last season. So we have elite, borderline elite, above average, average, unknown, and below average. I'm going to try and keep everyone out of the unknown. The rookies might be a little bit harder because honestly I don't know how they're going to perform in the NFL as this is their first year. But I'm going to try my best to put them out of the unknown and maybe place them in like something, maybe average, I don't know. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into it. Alex Smith is our #1 quarterback on here. Now Alex Smith actually injured himself last season. So and the Redskins job, they drafted Dwayne Haskins, so I'm not 100% sure if his job is secure. If he is, I just think Alex Smith is an average quarterback, so we're going to place him right in the average right there to start off the video. Next up, we got Josh Allen. Josh Allen has had an impressive season with the Bills. The Bills of all teams. Josh Allen coming to a rookie in that squad, I feel like they need desperate help. Josh Allen definitely gives them the boost they need. I think he's going to be an average quarterback. Obviously, he has the sophomore slump to actually worry about, so we're going to place him in the average. I'll adjust them at the end of the video to what I really think they will be. But next we got Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield coming off an incredible season. I know it was just the Browns too. They were short on making the playoffs, but Baker has hope in the Browns. Plus this Browns offense with all the actual threats around him. They got Odell, they got Jarvis Landry, we got David Njoku at tight end, they got Nick Chubb at running back. They got a decently good offensive line, and the defense is getting there themselves. I'm thinking, if anything, Baker Mayfield, if I can float him between borderline elite and above average, I'm going to keep him actually at above average. Now, next we got Big Ben. Big Ben's obviously, I think, on a downfall now. They lost AB to the Raiders. They lost Le'Veon to the Jets. Big Ben's not getting any younger. Last year, Big Ben's had a pretty tough season. I think I blame that mostly on his teammates, just because the chemistry was not there at all that season. Like starting off with the Le'Veon troubles of him not showing up to any practices and not any of playing for the year, and now for the drama between him and Antonio Brown going to the Raiders and like him apologizing that. Big Ben's not getting any younger, so I still think Big Ben's probably maybe one of the best QBs in the league, and I'm actually going to keep him at borderline elite. I think he'll be pretty good. He's got Juju still. Honestly, one of the best receivers in the league right now. He's definitely top 25, maybe even my top 15. Juju is definitely in. Next up, we got the GOAT himself. No bias in this because I think everyone can agree Drew Brees is an elite quarterback. Drew Brees turned the New Orleans Saints into literally a playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender itself. They have some unlucky years. Me as a Saints fan, they got unlucky the past 2 years, but they're still there in Super Bowl contention. They're dominating their division right there. I think Drew Brees is one of the top QBs in the league. If I had to put my top 3 QBs, it's obviously going to be Tom Brady, him, and Aaron Rodgers. Next up, we got Cam Newton. Cam Newton obviously was limited last season with his shoulder, I believe. I think Cam Newton can definitely be a really good quarterback. I love his scrambling ability. I love how he's big. He can run people over. He can truck. If you guys know him from Madden, he has some good trucking stats. He can truck some defenders if he wants to. Cam Newton's really good. I think, honestly, I'm going to put him in above average. I'm thinking next season, he'll be back with that shoulder injury. And I mean, well, hopefully he'll be able to throw the ball a lot farther, get the Panthers some dubs, and maybe bring some actual competition to the NFC South. Next up, we got the Oakland Raiders' Derek Carr. Derek Carr, I feel like, is definitely a struggle for him. I mean, they've gotten a lot of changes by Gruden. I mean, I think Derek Carr's job might be in jeopardy if he does not perform this season. I mean, I really don't know about Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is an average to above average quarterback. He can make some pretty good plays. I mean, obviously with Gruden stripping his offense of all the talent, like getting rid of Amari Cooper and like getting rid of so many guys that actually were needed on this Raiders team, it definitely hurt them in the end. I mean, I guess they're in a rebuild. I really don't know. But now they have got AB, so that might change it up. But I still think Derek Carr, as of right now, is going to stay an average QB. He can definitely move up to above average as the season progresses, though. I mean, I like Derek Carr as a player, and I think he should be able to get better as his career goes on. Honestly, there's not much to be said about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins came into Minnesota Vikings like literally looking to be Super Bowl contenders after 2 seasons ago when they made it to the NFC Championship and got beat by the Eagles. They were looking for a new push. Obviously, their quarterback's like kind of controversy was kind of hard with all the QBs getting injured they had. They finally decided to bring in Kirk Cousins from the Redskins to make that Super Bowl push to try and go win or bust at this point. Kirk Cousins did not perform very well. I mean, I don't think the Vikings overall performed very well than they should. I believe the Vikings have a lot of talent on their team, and I feel like they can definitely take over that NFC North spot. But, I mean, they definitely struggled last season, and I feel like this season they can definitely come back. Kirk Cousins, obviously, to me, is average quarterback. He hasn't really shown me anything since I've watched him play for the Vikings or even for the Redskins. He was pretty average. I mean, honestly, tell me down below if I'm wrong. I mean, I would love to hear it. Jameis Winston is next up on the list. I am not a fan of Jameis Winston at all. I think he's going to be our first below average quarterback. I mean, he's garbage. I'm sorry, Buccaneers fans. I mean, I feel like the Buccaneers have struggled on their offense position. I mean, literally last season, Winston has been fighting for Fitzmagic for that position for so freaking long. It's unbelievable. Last season, they kept switching off. Jameis Winston's not the starter I feel like they need. But, I mean, if anything, if Winston does not perform this season, they definitely got to go looking for a new quarterback in the draft. Dak or Dakota Prescott for you guys Vic fans out there. Dak is next up on the list right here. Dak, honestly, I think is a great quarterback. If anything, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people would disagree with me or even agree with me, as I might actually put him borderline elite. I mean, obviously, I think, I really don't know. I mean, I like Dak as a quarterback. Dak is coming really good. I mean, you can say that he has all like the talents around him with Amari Cooper and Zeke. That's what makes him good. But I feel like Dak can do it all too. He can run. He can take hits for the most part. I'm liking Dak as a quarterback. I think he's borderline elite. He's a leader of that Dallas Cowboys team. Next, we got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold obviously did not do very well last season with the Jets. I mean, he definitely showed promise. I feel like the Jets definitely have their franchise QB as he develops. And going forward, Sam Darnold can actually be a really good quarterback. I mean, he's got Le'Veon. The Jets are actually making the moves that they need. They got CJ Mosley on defense. Jets can be a really good team this year, led by Sam Darnold at QB. I mean, I feel like definitely this team can go places in the NFC East. I mean, maybe a wild card spot at best because you do have Tom Brady and the Patriots still going on strong with how old Tom Brady is. But Sam Darnold, going to be an average quarterback for me. All right, look at this guy. You guys can see him next. By the picture, that guy just looks below average. I mean, Eli Manning out of his prime, out of his 2 Super Bowl MVP prime. And I think it's really self-explanatory. His reign in New York is coming to a close, so he's going to go below average. And without hesitation, Fitzmagic is too. Fitzmagic can't be, it's not a solid starter enough. I just think he's below average. He has like those, again, he's called Fitzmagic for a reason, guys. I mean, he has like those magical games where he somehow comes out on top, but then the rest of the season, he's obviously garbage. He's like an on-off type of player. Next up, we got Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, the Philly special, up on the list. And honestly, Nick Foles, I think, is an above average quarterback to average quarterback. If I could put him in between, I definitely would. Nick Foles has some on and off games, I feel like. I mean, he was really good with that first season with the Eagles, leading him to the playoffs. But then we didn't hear about him until 2 seasons ago when Carson Wentz got hurt and he had to step up. I mean, obviously, he really brought it in Philadelphia, bringing them their Super Bowl title. If I had to put him anywhere, I think it might be above average. I mean, if anything, I might adjust him in between above average and average later in the video. Next, we got Jared Goff. Jared Goff leading the Rams all the way to the Super Bowl, only to get shut down by the Patriots defense. I mean, that was obviously a defensive battle right there. Jared Goff, overall, I think he is above average quarterback. I mean, he's not borderline elite just yet. I mean, maybe if, like, he didn't have as many weapons as he did, in my opinion, he would be borderline elite and still performing that way. But I mean, he has such a good team around him to where you can't just put all like your success on Jared Goff. I would put more on the defense with Aaron Donald and his squad on that side of the football. That's why I think of when I think of the Rams. I don't think of offense that much except for Todd Gurley. Next, we are going to finish off the actual NFC South division with Matty Ice right here. Matty Ice, honestly, borderline elite. Like, I can't argue. I mean, I'm trying to do this as accurately as possible. I like Matty Ice as a quarterback. He's going to be borderline elite. He's proven himself very well. He has his on and off days, which sucks for him. I mean, his team did not perform at all last season, and that's obviously because of injuries and stuff like that. Defense wasn't as what it is, but Matty Ice can still perform. Matty Ice is still a good quarterback overall. I think he's borderline elite. Again, this is all my opinions, but I'm trying to accurately place it as possible, so comment down below if you guys agree or disagree. Jimmy the GOAT Garoppolo is next up. I mean, Jimmy the GOAT, I mean, I can't argue. ACL tear last season. Average quarterback, I feel like, is going to be this season. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo doing very good with New England when he started. Obviously doing good with San Francisco until that injury. I still think he's an average quarterback. He can get the job done. I think maybe next season, if I redo this tier maker list, I should say, and he actually does good with the 49ers this year, I'll pull him up in above average. But for right now, he's just an average quarterback for me. I still love him, though, as a quarterback. Joe Flacco is next up. I mean, Joe Flacco, there's not much to be said about him. He did just lose his job to Lamar Jackson, which obviously I think is the best move for the Baltimore Ravens. Gotta get that veteran out of there, get a new guy in, get the new regime going for Lamar Jackson so he can take over and actually run, scramble. I mean, he's got maybe his own problems that I'll discuss when he's up there. But Joe Flacco, I mean, overall, he's probably he's an average quarterback. I feel like maybe average to below average, just because like he's down in his prime. He was really good. He always made the Baltimore Ravens playoff contenders. But I mean, as of next season goes, I feel like he's going to be, if anything, average to below average for the Denver Broncos. Next up, we got Case Keenum, which I'm hoping it's Case Keenum because I'm pretty sure that's him. But number 4 on the Broncos, I'm really hoping it's not a different quarterback. Case Keenum, honestly, he's really fallen off. I mean, I feel like he was always a backup. So I'm going to put him in below average. He's not that good. He didn't make that much of an impact for the Broncos. I mean, honestly, the Broncos have something good going right there with their 2 pass rushers, Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. And then I feel like they just got to get their offense back to what was working. Again, they're all about Peyton Manning right there. That was like their last time the Broncos were on top, which I actually do kind of miss Peyton Manning in the league, or else it would have been him, Brees, and Tom Brady would have been my top 3. But Case Keenum's going to be below average. I mean, didn't really show much last season. Didn't really show much for the Vikings except for that one season leading them all the way to the NFC Championship. I mean, honestly, I think Case Keenum's going to be below average again because he's going to have to fight for a job now. Now we are on to a new starting quarterback in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. I love this card. I love this card in Madden. Well, I love his card in Madden. But, I mean, just because of the scrambling effect, he's so freaking good with his speed. I mean, I think he can definitely change up the game for speed-wise, running the read option. He can definitely change up Baltimore's offense to be able to become like a read option kind of offense if they ever wanted to. Giving Lamar Jackson like QB runs and stuff like that can definitely be pretty good. But then again, that would also lead to injury. I mean, Lamar Jackson, I think this year will be definitely an average quarterback. I mean, he didn't get to play play as many games as I wanted to see him play last season. I would love this if he was started just right over Joe Flacco. But, I mean, Lamar Jackson got to play the last half of the season. Did pretty good. They got that playoff loss and eliminated. But, I mean, honestly, we're going to see what he does this season. Again, I think he's going to be an average quarterback to maybe even above average if he changes up the game with his running touchdowns. Next, we got Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, I feel like, can definitely be an unlucky quarterback, yo. If he was in the NFC, he would definitely be a really good contender. I mean, it's unfortunate he's like the Chargers are in the AFC to begin with because they always have to go through the Patriots. I feel like just the Patriots are just the most dominant team in the NFL as of right now. I mean, as in the past dynasty. Like, their dynasty, they've been the most dominated team in the NFL, which is insane. The Brady era, the Belichick era was insane. I mean, Phillip Rivers is pretty unlucky at this point. I don't know if he's going to win a ring unless he goes to a superstar team on the NFC where he has a chance of actually beating the Patriots in a Super Bowl. But Phillip Rivers, I mean, is a really good quarterback, but just the fact that he's just getting really unlucky in the playoffs is my one problem with him, at least. Next up, we got another amazing quarterback, Andrew Luck. I mean, there's no doubt he's going to be borderline elite for me. I mean, comeback player of the year coming off that injury, leading the Colts to a playoff run. Next, we got Marcus Mariota. I mean, I can't really put Marcus Mariota in below average because I feel like he's definitely better than below average. So he's going to go right into average. I mean, Marcus Mariota is a good quarterback. I think injuries just don't really help his thing that much. I was a really big fan of him when he came out of Oregon. I mean, I liked him more than Carson Wentz when they came out of college. So, I mean, Marcus Mariota is an average quarterback for me. Now we got Mitchell Trubisky from the Bears. Another average quarterback. I mean, I honestly, in my opinion, Mitch Trubisky, he definitely has to get going as a starter. I mean, I feel like he's good average quarterback. He's like a steady starter for them. I mean, definitely the team around him really helps because I felt like the defense was just absolutely dominant last season. Now we finally have our second QB that's elite. I mean, I kind of hate putting this guy up in elite. Patty Mahomes, I mean, he's only really played one season, and everyone's saying he's elite already. He is proving that too. I hate to put him in because he's like a second year. This is going to be literally his second year as a starter, I mean, for the Chiefs, and I really don't know my opinion on him. All I know is that this guy is insane. I don't know where the hell he really even came from, but I mean, he definitely made an impact. He's on the cover of Madden 20 for God's sake, so if he's not elite, I don't know what is. Andy Dalton, below average, just an unlucky quarterback again. I feel like that situation the Bengals have is just really weird. They're like, they gotta rebuild somehow. They gotta get going. I mean, they have like good players to be good with AJ Green and Andy Dalton passing to him, but I mean, honestly, they're just really unlucky to this point, to where I just think Andy Dalton just looks like a below-average quarterback to me. Next, we got Mr. Payday himself, Russell Wilson, getting paid so much freaking money from the Seahawks. Elite, obviously. I mean, in my opinion, I think Russell Wilson's better than these guys right here just because his success so far with the Super Bowl wins, having the Legion of Boom by his side, bringing up that short dynasty, as the Legion of Boom is no longer in existence right now with Sherman going 49ers. We got Earl Thomas to the Ravens. Chancellor retiring. Bobby Wagner's the only one that's still there. I think there's a part of that Legion of Boom, really. Or at least I considered him part of that. But Russell Wilson, definitely elite. I mean, this is going to be a hard one. I mean, again, I'm trying to base them ranked on last season and this season, how I feel they're going to be. I definitely think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back this season and be elite. I mean, I think everyone can agree how elite Aaron Rodgers is as a quarterback. I mean, he's in my top 3 in the NFL quarterbacks. Out of all these guys, my top 3 would be Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady for my top 3. Most of you guys can say Patty Mahomes, but Patty Mahomes hasn't really proved himself yet. I mean, for all we know, he can be like a Nick Foles and just bring him to the playoffs one year, almost to a Super Bowl, absolutely crap the bed the next season. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers deserves to be elite. As you see his success that he's had, he's a really good player. Hopefully he comes back this season and brings the Packers back to an NFC title, or at least an NFC North title. Josh Rosen is up next, and I feel like this guy, I don't know where to place him. I mean, he might be the first unknown quarterback that actually got to play last season. Obviously, Cardinals were dog crap in the NFL season last year. I mean, they had their own problems right there. So maybe with Josh Rosen, I mean, you can give him some slack and be like, oh, he had like a crappy team around him, at least for that season. Now in Miami, things can change. If anything, I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt, put him in average. I mean, we'll see how he does this season. Next up, we got another guy who's been on a pretty unlucky team, Matthew Stafford. I mean, we're going to see what he can do this next season. Matthew Stafford, overall, I feel like he can definitely be an above average quarterback. He's above average to me. He's better than most of these guys right here. I would take him. Like, if I had to put one of these guys out, like the average quarterbacks and Matthew Stafford all on one team, and I had to pick one starter from it, I'd probably pick Matthew Stafford because the veteran, he can be more reliable. Again, I can go with the young talent like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen and put my faith in them. But I feel like Matthew Stafford, out of all these guys, are better. I feel like just because his team doesn't really define him that much, I feel like he can definitely be above average. Ryan Tannehill, honestly, he's up next on the list. He's below average. I mean, he's been in Miami for so long. Now going to Tennessee, I don't think he's going to make an impact in Tennessee. If I had to pick my starter between Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill, it's got to be Marcus Mariota all day just because he knows the system. Ryan Tannehill couldn't get anything going in Miami, so Miami decided to switch it up, ship him off to Tennessee, and get Josh Rosen from Arizona all the way onto the other side of the United States. So, I mean, Ryan Tannehill, below average, has not done anything for that Miami Dolphins. Maybe Josh Rosen might be the savior of the Dolphins. And then I'm not going to comment. You guys all know Tom Brady, elite. Deshaun Watson, another one of my favorite guys. I'm loving the young quarterbacks. I love my young quarterbacks, and there's like a certain older guys that I like. But I mean, I'm definitely in love with the younger quarterbacks and how they play because they can scramble, they can move. I love like the agility of some of these young guys, what they have. Like Josh Allen can move. He's a young guy, can move. I mean, I don't like pocket passers. Again, I'm talking about, I guess, my Madden perspective of it, which is kind of bad. I mean, definitely my favorite quarterbacks have come out from Madden. Overall, like Deshaun Watson's one of my favorite quarterbacks because of Madden using him. But Deshaun Watson, I'm going to probably place him in average. I mean, again, he hasn't really shown anything for us. I mean, that we can really put him in above average. I mean, or actually, we're going to put him above average right now. I mean, just because I'm such a big Deshaun Watson fan. I mean, I'm trying to be as accuracy as I can't even talk. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible for this tier maker list. See, again, guys, I can't even talk, but I'm trying to be as accurate as possible to actually get this tier list maker done. Now, before we get into the up-and-coming rookies, we have one more guy left, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, above average. I mean, the only thing that's keeping him away from borderline elite is the injuries. I mean, the fact that Nick Foles had to step up, I think, 2 seasons in a row because of injuries for Carson Wentz is insane. So, I mean, when he's healthy, Carson Wentz is good, but because of those injuries, I'm just going to put him above average and not borderline elite. Now we move on to the rookies, guys. So how we're going to do this for these guys, I'm going to take a look at who they are going up against for their starting jobs and then place them on how I think they're going to be from there. So starting off with Dwayne Haskins, he's obviously going up against Alex Smith. I think one more quarterback, I forget who's in Washington right now. But I mean, we're just going to compare him to Alex Smith. I definitely think Dwayne Haskins can get the job done. I mean, speaking that Alex Smith came off an injury, maybe put the ball in Dwayne Haskins' hands, the offense in his hands right now. And if anything, I think he's going to be, average quarterback. He's going to definitely be an average quarterback starting out his rookie year. Hopefully he develops and brings the Redskins to maybe an NFC East title in the next couple of years, especially if the Redskins do really good in the offseason, bringing up more people, drafting some new guys to actually get that team going. So I'm going to put him average right now. I think he'll be pretty good. Next, we got what I'm hoping is Drew Lock, I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're gonna say he's Drew Lock. If he's someone else, my bad. Drew Lock, I mean, he's going into the Broncos offense. He's got a good, solid defense with Chris Harris Jr., Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and a bunch of other supporting players on that team. So, I mean, I think the defense can definitely be steady. The offense needs to get going. The offense, he'll have Emmanuel Sanders to actually throw to and a couple other good receivers. And he also has Phillip Lindsay actually running the ball, which I feel are pretty good. If anything, I think maybe this year he's going to be below average, but I'm going to literally give him the benefit of the doubt and maybe say he's going to do better up-and-coming seasons after that, just because he's a rookie coming to that system. We got our last 2 QBs here. We got Kyler Murray, #1 overall pick to the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, if anything, looking at him play, he's insanely good. I love it. I love the Oklahoma quarterbacks. I love him and Baker. I think he's going to be average. I mean, obviously, he's going to that Arizona Cardinals team. He might be pretty good. He might actually get some balls thrown to Larry Fitzgerald for touchdowns. Hopefully, David Johnson get going for that team. But as of right now, Kyler Murray is going to be an average quarterback, I think, settling to that system. It's a bad situation, I feel like, in Arizona. If they can definitely turn it around, they could. I mean, hopefully this year's their year. And finally, we got Daniel Jones, the controversy of the Giants. Everyone's saying that, or at least I say they should have drafted Haskins instead of Daniel Jones that early. I mean, or if anything, traded down to get him. And maybe got something else out of the trade. But Daniel Jones, the number 6 pick, I believe, just going off the top of my head. Honestly, I don't know where I want to put him because that Giants team is going to be terrible. So he might just be with Eli and just go below average because I'm just going to blame it on the team at this point. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe average to below average quarterback. If I could hover them between below average. Again, we have the unknown thing, so overall, all these guys are going to go into unknown for me. And then this is what our final set might look like. So going over the final list, I think this is how everything's going to pan out for the NFL season. We have our 5 elite quarterbacks. We have our 5 borderline elite quarterbacks, 7 above average, and then we got about 11 average. 4 unknown quarterbacks. I really don't know how they're going to perform. I did put them in before I put them in those unknowns. So, I mean, Haskins and Murray might be average, and then Locke and Jones might be below average. That's my prediction, but I can't really actually say them just because it's their first season in the NFL. And then we got the below average guys. We got Winston, Eli Manning, Fitzmagic, Case Keenum, Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Pretty interesting video for me, at least. I don't know if you guys find it interesting, but comment down below your opinions on NFL players, how you think some of these quarterbacks are. I mean, I'm sorry if I placed some of your quarterbacks wrong. Like, I mean, honestly, there's some guys are on the borderline fence about moving them into maybe borderline elite guys or maybe even above average guys. Some of these quarterbacks might be. But I mean, overall, just comment down below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on next time. Make sure to like, subscribe. Peace out. I'm a little nervous. I feel like he's coming. Yep. Blitz coming in hot as I got Michael Thomas, right? Michael Thomas with a catch. Yep, he's going to quit. He's out of here too. Let's go, man.